Recording in progress.
Okay, good morning. In this session, we're going to learn about the ways on how we prepare our poster presentation. And I'm also going to give an overall feedback related to your 8 minutes presentation. But today, I also get a notification from Jihad Fahri that he wants to present his 8-minute presentation because last week he was ill, and so I'm asking all of the audience here to prepare their assessment sheet, okay, once more, and then be ready to listen to Jihad Fahri's presentation. Okay, Jihad Fahri, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is your presentation slide ready?
Ya nanti Pak.
Okay, if you're ready, then you may start your presentation.
Wait, sir. Do you see the presentation, sir?
Yes.
Test.
Yes,
Test,
we can
test.
hear you. You may begin.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Me as Fahri, 102 18 027. I will present my work, which talk about test cleaning on solar panel using electrostatic principle and coating solar panels with a transparent and conductive layer from aluminum doped zinc oxide. Okay, let's begin. Solar farm is a large collection of photovoltaic solar panels that absorb energy from the sun, convert it into electricity, and send that electricity to the power grid for distribution and consumption by customers like us. They operate as power plants, just like a natural gas power plant or other sorts of energy generation that have generated electricity. They are decentralized and usually consist of ground-mounted solar panel installed across large area. As thickness of the dust increases, hence the power output of the solar panels also decrease exponentially. We can see the so what should we do? So regularly cleaning is very important to maintain the power output of the solar panels. But cleaning solar panels currently is estimated to use about 10 billion gallons of water per year, enough to supply drinking water for up to 2 million people. What we have to do is attempt to clean it without water, but it takes a lot of effort and tends to cause irreversible sulfur scratch, which can also reduce the efficiency of solar panels. So we truly need a non-contact way to remove dust from solar panels by not using water to make it sustainable. Next, we're going to method. Yeah. First, determines minimal electrostatic force to lift the dust particles. In this case, the dust particles behave similarity to silica. And two, determine the threshold voltage. Next. Yeah, it is. The electrostatic force or FI, which aids to remove the particle from the surface, is opposed by the addition force and the gravity, which tend to keep the particles on the surface. This is, yeah, the presence of VTH or V threshold indicates that the particles are lifted from the surface when the charge is induced to produce an electrostatic repulsion force strong enough to keep addition and gravity. Yeah, this is initial concept of the dust removal mechanism. This is a diagram concept of the dust removal mechanism. Yeah, this schematic of the dust removal mechanism with AZO coated glass inside on the top solar panel. That's all from me. Thank you. Sir, I've been finished my presentation.
Yes, I noticed it. I'm just counting your time and also gave the feedbacks or the comments related to your presentation. Okay, thank you, Fahri. So now we can continue to our scheduled activities. And first of all, I would like to give appreciation for all of the students who participate in the 8 minutes student presentation that we already done in 4 sessions for 2 weeks. And overall, okay, let me show you the overall feedback. In terms of the way that you're presenting, if we compare your presentation between the 3 minutes presentation with the last one, we could see good progress. We could see that you're able to describe the topic in more detail, and some of you also have the ability to make a good outline so that the coverage or the amount of information that you put in the slides is perfectly matched with the time limitation. However, we do some comments, we do some things that probably need to be fixed or need to be clarified before we are moving on to the final presentation that will begin in a period of 2 weeks from now. The first one, we should say that some students put too many sentences on slides instead of just a small phrases or keywords. And this could be modified if you able to locate what is or what are the main ideas or the main topic of that sentence or of that paragraph that you saw on the literature that you used as the ingredient for the presentation. Here I show you some details. Some of you have comments and some of you don't have comment, but it doesn't mean that you already have a perfect presentation, because you need to for preparing for question and answer session later on. So for example, that I gave you here in the screen, for example, Melissa and Mulia have the same problem of putting too many sentences in the slide, and then Mulia also have too many pauses during her presentation. For Felix, the tempo probably should be improved so that the way that you inform the audience, the way that you tell your story in a presentation will be a little bit faster, so that the coverage of your topic will be under the time limitation. We have appropriate time for you to have discussion later on, and then it is also advisable for you to not too many small details on your presentation, so that the pace itself will be improved. Okay, and then for Anggun, for example, in terms of pronunciation, when you speak the word opposite, you pronounce it as opposite, and then the choice of word in terms of telling the audience about one location, you're not using the correct verb or the correct noun, so that instead of you say the place is located in, you use locate directly. Okay, another comments for students. Well, I'll give this slide later on EduNext so that you can review later on. And the comment itself is pretty much generic. I'm looking at your tempo, looking at your loudness, your pronunciation, etc., and so on, so that the comments that I made here is more or relatively more on that aspects. I'm not going to talk about the details or the technicalities of your topics, because some topics is not on my expertise, so that I could not give too much improvement in terms of the way you describe the topic itself. Okay. Okay. So the choice of words, and then the tempo, and then uh, the way that you pronounce a certain letter need to be fixed, so that in the future, when you are uh, presenting in front of people using the English language, use the you don't use the wrong pronunciation, basically. Okay, I will set this feedbacks later on, including the one that we already saw from Jihad's presentation today. And then I am going to remind everybody about the schedule of our activities. We already done the 3-minute presentation. We finished with the 8-minute presentation, and then your paper introduction is also done. And so the thing that we need to compile, the thing that we need to do later on after this week is to held a full 15 minutes presentation, and then working on the poster presentation, and then writing up the full paper of your chosen topic. And I should remind everybody about the percentage of your assignments contribution, because this is all part um, of the grading that you need to fulfill in order to get the marks, the final grade from this lecture. And since we are already in week 12, in week 12, we're going to learn about how to create poster presentation, and then how to manage or how to design the poster in terms of its graph positioning, text box, titles, conclusion, references, etc., and so on. And then in the following week, which is in week 13, we're going to um, begin our 15 minutes presentation. Well, probably in the first week on Monday, there will be some kind of a workshop before we begin the presentation, and then we probably start the full online presentation on the Thursday session, where usually we're going to have 7 people on each day. Okay, so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days times 7 people, we have 35 students. Okay, we're going to have 35 students. And then the active member of our class is about 31, is about 28. Okay, 28 to 30. And so the amount of weeks that you have for full presentation will be enough. Okay, will be enough for the rest of the member of the class. And then I should also remind everybody that in the final day of our lecture, which is on the April the 28th, okay, Thursday, April the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the final day of your full paper submission. Okay, so you need to submit your full paper on the last Thursday of April. Okay, like this one. Okay, okay. So Thursday, April the 28th. Okay, these 6, 7, 8. Okay, April the 28th will be the submission date for your full paper submission. the, the the template for your full paper is already given in EduNext, so use that for your full paper. And then the poster video presentation will be done on the date when we have the final exam for scientific communication. So instead of having a written scientific communication final exam, what you need to do is to submit the video presentation uh, of your poster work. Okay, and it will be done on the date when we have that final exam. And so for today's session, uh, before I'm going to describe the details on the PowerPoint, telling you about the ways on how we design poster presentation, uh, I would like you to see the EduNext, because all of the information that you need to follow in order to working on the poster presentation is present in the EduNext. So here in the EduNext, there should be lecture notes of today's session, and also a link for you to look for the topics that you need to choose, because as I mentioned earlier in the previous lectures, that poster presentation is a group activities. It is not an individual activities anymore, but it's going to be a group activities that you need to do. And since this is a group activities, you may choose the topics you that you're going to working out from the following further. Okay, so here in scientific communication class, poster presentation is the last assignment for the semester and done in a maximum of a group of 4 students. Poster presentation will be held at the final exam day for scientific communication FI4005 in May 2022. And then please be updated with the schedule given by the Bachelor of Physics study program. On the presentation day, each group will submit a poster file in PDF and also a presentation link given as a YouTube video. Students must choose their topic from selected paper given in this folder. So if you click on this link over here, you're going to the Google Drive that that contain all of the topics, okay, all of the topics for your poster presentation. There will be topics related to the uh, on physics of Earth and complex system. There's some topic related to the nuclear physics. There are topics that related to material physics. There are topics related to the thermodynamics, and then instrumentation, machine learning, etc., and so on. And there is one topic that relates to physics application in music and language. So if you if you are not familiar uh, with the physics topic in detail. So for those of you who are enrolled in the scientific communication class from Unpad, for example, you may choose this topic related to the connection of physics with music and language. So and also I would like to invite students from ITB, okay, from physics department, also to related to this application as well. So the main rule, you need to create a group of 4 students, okay, a group of 4 students, and then you need to add your name in the Google Drive, okay, in the Google Sheet over here, and then it will be the group for your final poster presentation. So for poster presentation, it is not coming out from your it is not the same with your oral presentation. It's going to be a group activities, which topics is given in this Google Drive folder. So you need to read. So first of all, you need to choose the topic from the following paper, and then you create a group, and then you're working on the poster, and then you may create your poster on CorelDRAW. You can also create your poster in PowerPoint, or you may also use Adobe Illustrator in design your poster. However, the final product that we ask you to do is on PDF, and you will submit it on the final day of on the final exam day of scientific communication class. Okay, so what you should do now, when you are working on the poster presentation, while you're listening to the lecture on poster presentation, you may also to choose the topic on the following folder, and then you write your name under the topic that you're going to select. Okay, if the title of the topic itself is haven't been written here, then you may write the title and also the member of your group. Okay, so for example, I think I haven't include the paper that relates to physics and music. So if you're going to choose that topic, then please put the title here with your rest of students, the group that you want to develop that title. Okay. So this is student of okay, so this is semester 2. Okay, 2021, and then you must choose one topic for poster presentation, and each title must be developed by a maximum 4 students and minimum 2 students. Okay, topic chosen by only single student will not be allowed. Okay, so if you are alone, that you may need to move on to another topic. Okay, so the number of students that could develop one topic is only for 4 students. Okay. Okay, here are the topics again. The first paper is related to the nuclear physics in thorium 228. The second topic is related to the synchrotron infrared spectroscopy. This one is related to the graphene synthesis. Okay, this one is related to the Earth core as a reservoir of water. And then the fifth paper is related to the widespread subsidence and carbon emission. And then the sixth paper is related to the earthquake. And then the eighth paper related to the, sorry, this is the seventh one, is related to the Earth magnetic field. The eighth paper related to the scaling law of growth in human cancer. And then the ninth topic related to the SARS-CoV pandemic. The 10th paper related to the processing in human information in complex network. And then the 11th topic related to the acceleration in computational modeling of high entropy alloy. And then the 12th topic related to the machine learning and phone data to improve humanitarian aid. And then the 13th paper is related to the speech processing in music and speech. Okay. Okay. These are the topic for your poster presentation, and here are the link for you to fill in the names of your group member for the poster presentation. Okay. For poster presentation, it's not only that I'll provide you the slides in terms of the design, but you can also look at the YouTube videos that I also prepare here as one of the alternative for you to design your poster, because the way that I'm mentioning here is probably suitable for a conservative style scientific presentation, scientific style poster presentation. However, in nowadays situation, since technology is also improving day by day, it means that for poster presentation, the medium itself is no longer need to be a significant poster that we usually saw in laboratories or in the hall meeting, etc., and so on. So the thing that I mentioned here in the slides in terms of preparing a poster presentation is the way that we need to look upon for creating this type of poster presentation. So in a typical poster presentation, which usually held in a break time of a certain annual meeting, he or she that is coming out from a certain institution that choose to present their research result in a medium of poster, they will print or they will bring their poster and then display it on the display, and uh, and then so the audience that going to look for the title is not going to be a specific audience. It can be a generic audience that come up to the annual meeting, and then they look and they will see the title of the poster not in a detailed manner, but they will just skim or they will just look fast on the title. If the title is catching up their interest, then they will approach the poster. And if the author of the poster itself is present on the exhibition, it means that you could have the interaction or communication between the two. However, this is not always the case, because sometimes during the poster session, it is coincide with a lunch session or a break session. So sometimes the author itself is not present on the poster presentation exhibition, because sometimes he or she also create two mediums. First one is the oral presentation and the second one is poster, so that the author itself is sometimes more dealing with the oral presentation and then he presents there, but he also left a mark on the exhibition room to show one of the aspect of his research in terms of poster. And then the reason why some organizations still held this type of presentation, it is because it is a quick way or a quick method for people to see what are the latest trend in the major of that field itself. So if I'm talking about the meeting on SEG, Society of Exploration Geophysicists, it means that the poster presentation will show the latest advancement on geophysical technique, on geophysical method development, on interpretation, etc., and so on. So in another field, for example, in optics, the poster presentation will cover the things that are related to the current trend or related to the things that are related uh, to the novelty of the method in terms of the characterization, in terms of the optics research itself, but not in a detailed fashion. So if you want to know about the details about one topic, it is preferred for you to choose oral presentation instead of poster presentation. But still, poster presentation can be a quick way to show the development or to show the improvement or to show your result, basically, without having you to talk about the topic itself in one oral session, for example. And so the time allocation and the number of speaker for oral presentation, and then also, and on the other hand, the time allocation and number of speaker for oral presentation is sometimes limited because annual meeting only lasts for 3 or 4 days, whereas and so uh, the rest of the expert, the rest of the students, and the rest of the people who want to show their research result can choose to do poster presentation instead. And so if you're choosing to not to talk too many details about your project, and then your topic of interest is also limited, and you are planning not to show too many description on your presentation, it means that you can choose poster presentation as your medium of communication on that meeting. So presenting your result in a poster instead of paper has some advantages. The first one is interactive, no time limit, no time limited forum. It can allows one to convey more details than in a talk. However, poster presentation usually limited for an hour because sometimes it use the break time of that annual meeting. And then immediate feedback from other researchers can be found because when the people who is interested in your topic, he will approach your poster directly, and then he will talk to you about the topic directly as well. So it provides an opportunity for more Q&A exchange between author and reader than talk or paper. And then the format of your presentation itself, if you are involved in a poster presentation, can be done without having the same structure with the oral presentation, because you may start with the thing that interests the audience or the viewer of your poster, and then moving on to the another details or another section of your poster presentation. Okay, although oral presentation and poster communication communicating your research result, a poster is not just a paper stuck in the wall. Still, you need to, if you're able to present besides your poster, then you may add details about the thing that you put on the poster. But the poster itself can be self-sufficient. It can be a self-explanatory. Just like a newspaper that when people read it, he or she will get many information from that paper. Okay, so your poster must be tailored to your audience to be effective. You must know who are your audience, what do they want to know, and then what will capture their interest. And the tips here is the competition for attention is fierce, because you can see in this figure over here that people will see all of the titles that is displayed on the display, and then if your title is not catchy enough, then it will not spark interest from the audience. And so most people will decide less than 5 seconds from 3 meters away if they are going to come closer for a look at the poster. And in less than 40 seconds, they will decide whether they're going to stay around to talk to you or just stay moving on to another poster or to another activities that they have in that annual meeting. An effective poster should also have the following features: must attract the audience. You need to have prominent title, visually interesting figures, and clean, uncluttered appearance. You must highlight the key points so that they are immediately recognizable. Must be arranged logically so a viewer quickly understand the story, and must contain all elements of good research paper. So more or less the content is the same with the oral presentation, but it is designed in a text box or a arrangement of figures that it is different with your oral presentation. So it is not only just to copy paste the slides on your poster and then finish. No, you need to rearrange and redesign the layout, the outline, so that it will catch the attention of the attendees. Okay, so since we are running off the time at the moment, we could continue our lecture on Thursday, talking about the rest of the description on how we create poster presentation. And I also want to invite you to see all of the YouTube videos that I present here, that I prepared here, so that you can have a comparison between the traditional way on how we prepare poster presentation and the progressive way on how to create a poster presentation. Okay, I will stop our session here. Okay, and then stop the recording.